shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Spring has thawed out the long bitter winter. The water is clear and the skies are blue. I'm standing in the middle of the Beaver Kill River. Might even catch and release one or two. Well, some folks like horses, cats or a dog. Me, I like fishing with a rod and a fly. Yes, fishing is a favorite pastime of mine. If I couldn't do it, I think I would cry. Well, life is good when I'm wading a river. Gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Trout is rising in the far eddy. I make a false cast, then take my aim. If he takes the fly, I feel so much better. And if he doesn't, I'll feel no shame. Stoneflies and caddis and the riffles are plenty. Mayflies courting on fragrant breeze. And cedar wax wings come down from the heaven, wait for their dinner up in the pine trees. The water is cold and my waders leak, and it's raining now on my favorite stream. I'll bear it all, just fish with a feather, so when I sleep I will have a sweet dream. And life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Oh, ripples and waves, pools and eddies, trout are rising for the mayfly. And the sun is shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish until the day that I die. Yes, I hope to be a fly fish until the day that I die. Hey folks, Curtis Mayfly back here for today's show. Today's show I'm going to start with some more fly tying, and we're going to do a sulfur dry fly today. So you want to make sure you start your recorder right now and get that going so that you can play back this. Also, all my flies that I do, a lot of stuff, all the stuff on the show is on my website eventually, and you can play back shows all you want on the website. And it should be posted up there on the screen right now. So, and again, this is a beautiful fly for the west branch of the Delaware, the east branch, main stem, and typically all summer long, if the flows are just right, just a cold enough water, these things hatch all summer long. So, enjoy it and learn how to tie a tiny sulfur fly.
New York City has the world's largest unfiltered water supply. Right now, the natural gas industry wants to drill in our watersheds. The process is called hydraulic fracturing. It uses over 900 chemicals injected under the ground, combined with explosives that cause mini earthquakes to extract the gas. But the process hasn't been proven safe. Watersheds across the nation have been contaminated with plastics, carcinogens, mutagens, and endocrine-disrupting chemicals, and with explosive natural gas. Whoa! This cannot be allowed to happen here. Join Scott Stringer, Manhattan Borough President's Kill the Drill campaign, because we can't drink natural gas, and because there's no New York without New York water.
And that, to me, is the most alarming environmental news I've heard in a long time, and makes this the #1 environmental crisis that we face in the city.
A message from Scott Stringer, Manhattan Borough President, and waterunderattack.com. For more information, go to waterunderattack.com and click on Kill the Drill.
Now we're going to tie. Now I'm going to tie a little sulfur fly. I'm going to wrap my thread over itself and bring it all the way back. And again, by holding that tag end of the thread at a 45-degree angle, you can wrap pretty fast and have your wrap stay nice and tight. Then when I get down near the end, there's two things you can do. You can save this thread, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the tail with that. I'm also going to be using lemon wood duck for the wings. I'm going to be using some light two of these hackles from a cream colored neck. I'm also going to use some tailing material, and I like this stuff. It makes a real nice tail on these light flies. So now we're ready for the tail. So I'm going to pick out a few of these fibers off of this tailing material. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to measure that. That should be maybe a little longer than the shank of the hook on this particular fly anyway. Usually it's about the length of the shank, but this fly, they seem to be kind of long tailed. So I'm going to wrap that on there so I have a nice tail. Now, with this extra thread that I have here, I'm going to try to pull that up between the tailing material and it helps to split the tailing material so it looks like two tails, because that's normally what these guys have, is a couple of little tails. Now we're going to bring this back to the bend. I'm going to cut that off. Now it's time for some dubbing, and I'm going to put a little wax on my thread. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, enough to make it kind of sticky. And then we're going to use our cream or our yellowish dubbing fur. And this happens to be a beaver dubbing, which is pretty nice. It floats well, and it's fairly durable. We're going to make our body, and again, this should be kind of thin. It doesn't have to be huge, and I may have a little bit too much on there, but I'm going to wrap it forward and we're going to get right about up to there. Now, what I like to do with these fibers, these hackles, is I like to clip them off right about in there, and then holding the two together, I'll clip the little individual fibers so that it makes like something to hold on to for when you tie these on. I hate it when they come out. We're going to hold that on there lightly and tie it on. We're going to put the other one on there and wrap it on there. Okay? Now, we're going to take our lemon wood duck. I'm going to pick one of these out. Looks nice. And what I'm going to do is cut the center hackle out near the top. So we don't want that in there. And we're going to take these, as many as you can, and then clip them off. Okay, and you have that, and what we're going to do is we're going to spin those so they kind of all go straight. And you want the wings to be about the length of the shaft. So we're going to measure that, pinch it, and I'm going to clip it off right about there. And then I'm going to pinch that on top. Now I'm going to pull the string up between my fingers and then down and then pull up tight. And once you get it started, you'll be fine. Okay? Now I pull that forward. And again, there's other ways. Some people tie these on first and they tie them on facing forward. But I found this method is the fastest for me, and it works well. Now I'm going to put my finger right there. See how they're standing straight? I'm going to put my finger there, and I'm going to try to spread these wings, these fibers, to make 2 sets of wings. And if I can get it, then I push my finger forward slightly to hold them apart. Okay? And now I simply just bring the thread up and lightly go around the one side, maybe go again. Okay? So now they're separated. Now I'm going to pull this other side forward and go in between there. And this is what they call figure eighting. And we'll try to go through there and make them stand up. Nice. Okay? Now we have nice wings. We're going to wrap up to the front, the head of the fly. Now we're going to take our hackle pliers. We're going to grab one of these feathers and we're going to start winding it forward. Okay? Each loop, each wind should be in front of the others. We're going to go right up to our wings and get as tight to the wings as we can. Then we're going to go in front of the wings and try to use as much of that as we can. Once you get it wrapped on there pretty good, we're going to do a couple of wraps, quick wraps around there to hold that. And we're going to grab the next feather and wrap that forward the same way. Oop. If I can get a hold of it. And we're going to wrap that forward. There we go. Clip some of these fibers that we got out there. Now we're going to do some half hitches on there so it doesn't come apart. And there we go. We have a nice little salper with split wings. See him?
A remote pond in the Adirondack Park. A classic Catskill stream. Lake Ontario, the Finger Lakes, and their many tributaries. the Hudson and Delaware River drainages. All of these scenes are part of New York State's great fishing heritage. New York State is somewhat unusual in that there is a wide variety of fishing habitat available within a few hours' drive of a major metropolitan center. Many acres of excellent trout water, in fact, have been created through the development of the system of reservoirs that provides New York City with drinking water. In recent years, however, population growth and land development has sometimes limited public access to certain streams. Acid rain deposition continues to plague our mountain lakes and ponds. Poor farming practices have contributed to siltation and stream bank erosion. And toxic contamination, as well as non-point source pollution, is a continuing blight. What can we do to help preserve our precious waters, to maintain and develop fisheries for ourselves and future generations? The New York State Council of Trout Unlimited is addressing this question. Trout Unlimited was founded by a small group of Michigan anglers concerned by the declining quality of trout fishing in that state's Osable River. From this modest beginning in 1959, the volunteer organization has expanded to a national level with over 400 chapters and 65,000 members nationwide. New York State is currently one of the largest state councils with almost 6,000 members as of September 1989. Let's consider a few examples of what Trout Unlimited has done to help preserve and enhance New York's fishing heritage. Through cold water releases from the Pepacton and Cannonsville reservoirs, the east and west branches, as well as the main stem of the Delaware River, provide some of the finest wild trout habitat in the eastern United States. Trout Unlimited has been instrumental in negotiating adequate water releases and is continuing work to refine this release schedule to ensure preservation and growth of this great fishery. The New York State Council is also actively fighting proposals to chlorinate portions of the Groton watershed that are inhabited by trout. Trout Unlimited continues to aid the State Department of Environmental Conservation through recommendations regarding state acquisition of stream easements, the establishment of special regulations fishing areas, and the construction of angler parking and access areas. Trout Unlimited has actively supported the concept of ethical fishing, such as limiting one's catch to what will be immediately consumed. The New York State Council has annually sponsored a statewide trout forum so that anglers may gather in a social setting to share information. Trout Magazine is published 4 times annually by the National Office. It is sent free of charge to all Trout Unlimited members and contains articles on various aspects of trout fishing by well-known authors. An old adage states that the whole is only as strong as its individual parts. And this is certainly true of the New York State Council of Trout Unlimited. Much of Trout Unlimited's mission statewide is carried out at the local level by individual Trout Unlimited chapters. Although there is some variation from chapter to chapter, most meet on a once or twice monthly basis. Many chapter meetings feature programs of general interest, such as a guest speaker, a video or slide presentation, or a live demonstration. Trout Unlimited chapters have been involved in many aspects of habitat development and maintenance. Green belting, or limiting traffic and cultivation along each bank of a stream, is an effective means of reducing bank erosion. Green belting is often accompanied by the planting of willows or similar well-rooted plants that will help stabilize the stream bank. Sometimes the placement of a more extensive structure, such as a pool digger, is necessary to provide oxygenation and cover for trout. Stream cleanups are an excellent way for a chapter to improve the aesthetic quality of a fishery. Needless to say, the cleanups go a long way to enhance the image of fishermen with respect to local landowners. Trout Unlimited chapters play an important role in the community by providing information on local environmental issues and by sponsoring clinics on various aspects of angling, such as rod building or fly tying. Many chapters work directly with local school systems and with youth groups, such as the Boy Scouts and 4-H. Trout Unlimited is firmly committed to working with young people. If we can instill a sense of pride and responsibility for the environment in successive generations of fishermen, we can ensure the perpetuation of high-quality sport fishing. How can you help preserve New York's fishing heritage? It's easy. If you are currently a Trout Unlimited member, don't be a deadhead. Get involved. Help out with your chapter's banquet. Help out with raffles and other fundraisers. Take part in community education projects. Get your feet wet with a stream cleanup. Teach a kid to fish, or show up for your club's annual fishing day. If you are not currently a Trout Unlimited member, we hope that this presentation will be an inspiration to join us. Membership in Trout Unlimited can give you access to the latest information concerning equipment, fishing conditions, and fishing techniques that can make you a better fisherman. But the real reward of membership is the knowledge that you are helping to protect and to enhance a fine fishing heritage, and to preserve this heritage for future generations. This has been a production of the New York State Council of Trout Unlimited.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.